The age-old question, what came first, the chicken or the egg? The question of what came first, the chicken or the egg, has puzzled humanity for centuries. It's a classic paradox that has sparked debates, philosophical ponderings, and scientific investigations. In this video, we will dive deeper into the different perspectives and theories surrounding this age-old question, delving into the evolutionary, genetic, philosophical, religious, cultural, and scientific viewpoints. The evolutionary perspective. From an evolutionary standpoint, the answer seems clear: the egg came first. Modern chickens evolved from non-chicken ancestors through a gradual process of genetic mutations and natural selection. At some point in this lineage, a genetic mutation occurred, resulting in the first chicken. This genetic change would have taken place within an egg laid by a non-chicken ancestor, making the egg the predecessor to the modern chicken. Evolutionary biologists emphasize that species do not emerge suddenly, but rather through a series of incremental changes over time. It is within the context of this gradual transformation that the egg takes precedence as the origin of the chicken. The genetic perspective. Delving deeper into the genetic realm, scientists have identified a specific protein called ovocletidin 17, OC17, that is responsible for the hardening of eggshells in birds. This protein is exclusively produced by chickens. Therefore, the presence of OC17 in the genetic makeup of the first chicken would suggest that the chicken came first, as the egg would require the genetic material of a chicken to produce this unique protein. This genetic change, which enabled the production of OC17, could have occurred through a mutation or a combination of genetic variations. Further research is needed to fully understand the genetic mechanisms involved in the emergence of the chicken. The philosophical perspective. From a philosophical standpoint, the question of what came first, the chicken or the egg, raises broader questions about causality, existence, and the nature of beginnings. Some philosophers argue that the question itself is flawed, as it assumes a linear progression of time with distinct starting points. They propose that the chicken and the egg are interconnected and mutually dependent, making it impossible to determine which came first. This viewpoint challenges the idea of a singular origin and emphasizes the complex interplay between cause and effect. It invites us to question our assumptions about the nature of time and how we define beginnings. From this perspective, the chicken and the egg exist in a continuous cycle, each giving rise to the other, representing the eternal nature of existence. The religious and creationist perspectives. Religious beliefs and creationist theories offer their own explanations for the chicken-egg dilemma. Creationist views often align with religious texts, such as the Christian Bible, which states that God created animals, including birds, in their fully formed state. According to this perspective, God created the first chicken, which subsequently laid the first egg. Other religious traditions have their own creation stories that provide explanations for the origin of chickens and eggs. These beliefs provide a sense of purpose and meaning to the question, offering religious followers a framework for understanding the world and its origins. They propose that a divine being or force was responsible for the creation of the chicken and the egg, each with its own unique purpose. The scientific perspective. While scientific evidence supports the evolutionary theory and the concept of genetic mutations leading to the emergence of new species, it cannot definitively answer the chicken-egg question. The complexity of genetic changes and the lack of a precise definition for what constitutes a chicken make it challenging to pinpoint the exact moment when the first chicken emerged. Additionally, the fossil record only provides glimpses into the past, leaving gaps in our understanding of the evolutionary timeline. Scientists continue to study genetics, evolutionary biology, paleontology, and other related fields to gain further insights into the origins of chickens and their eggs. Through scientific exploration and advancements in technology, we hope to uncover more evidence and shed light on the evolutionary journey that led to the existence of chickens and their eggs. The cultural and symbolic perspectives. In addition to the scientific, philosophical, and religious perspectives, the chicken and the egg have also held cultural and symbolic significance in various societies throughout history. In many cultures, the chicken is associated with fertility, rebirth, and the cycle of life. Eggs are often seen as symbols of new beginnings, potential, and the source of life. These cultural interpretations add another layer of complexity to the chicken-egg question, highlighting the multifaceted nature of our understanding and interpretation of this age-old puzzle. For example, in Chinese culture, the chicken and the egg symbolize prosperity and new opportunities, while in some Native American cultures, the chicken and the egg are associated with creation and the balance of masculine and feminine energies. The question of what came first, the chicken or the egg, remains a fascinating and thought-provoking topic. From an evolutionary and genetic perspective, the egg came first, as it would have carried the genetic material necessary for the first chicken's formation. However, philosophical, religious, cultural, and scientific perspectives offer alternative viewpoints, emphasizing the interconnectedness and interdependence of the chicken and the egg. The question continues to captivate our imagination and serves as a reminder of the mysteries that still surround us. Regardless of the answer, exploring this question encourages critical thinking, stimulates curiosity, and invites us to ponder the complexities of life and its origins. Before we end this video, here are some chicken and egg jokes to keep you entertained. Why did the chicken join a band? Because it had the best drumsticks in town. With its rhythmic clucking, it soon became the star of the band. The other musicians were in awe of the chicken's incredible talent. They couldn't believe their ears when they heard the chicken's impeccable timing and flawless beats. From that day forward, the band had a new feathered member who brought a whole new meaning to the term poultry in motion. Why didn't the egg go to the party? Because it heard the music was too explosive. The egg was a bit of a worrywart and had heard rumors about wild dance moves and booming beats that might crack its fragile shell. It decided it was better to stay home and have a quiet night in the refrigerator. Little did it know, the party turned out to be a total extravaganza, and it missed out on all the fun. What do you call a chicken that tells jokes? The punny clucker. This chicken had a knack for wordplay and loved to entertain its fellow farm animals with its excellent sense of humor. It would crack jokes left and right, making everyone laugh until they were rolling in the hay. The punny clucker became a local celebrity, with animals flocking from miles around just to hear its hilarious one-liners and puntastic punchlines. How do chickens stay in shape? They do exercise routines. These fitness-conscious chickens took their health seriously and were always looking for new ways to stay fit. They would gather in the coop every morning and start their exercise routines, consisting of egg squats, wing stretches, and feather flapping cardio. With their dedication and determination, these chickens were the epitome of fit and fabulous, proving that even with their wings, they could soar to new heights of fitness. Why did the egg start a podcast? It had a shell of a story to tell. This ambitious egg wanted to share its life experiences and unique perspective with the world. It set up a cozy nest studio and invited guests from all walks of life to share their stories, from chickens to humans and everything in between. The Egg's podcast became an overnight sensation, with millions of listeners tuning in to hear the Egg's engaging interviews and thought-provoking discussions. It just goes to show that sometimes the most unexpected voices can have the biggest impact. These jokes are sure to crack you up and leave you with a smile on your face. Enjoy the exciting humor and share the laughter with your friends and family.